you, everyone. I'd like to call the Brandon Board of Education regular meeting. It's our annual organizational meeting to order, please. We're going to take a roll call of attendees. Debbie Brady.
Here.
John Chartier.
Here.
Mary Ann Dwyer.
Here.
Bob Eisminger needed to leave us. I am here. Kevin is absent with prior notice. Diane.
Here.
And we have Dr. Outlaw and Jan and Christy and Mackenzie Parsons here and Olivia Young. Thank you. We have next on our agenda the oath of office for elected board members.
Okay. Will the new board members please stand up? Hold up your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of member of the Board of Education
of member of the Board of Education
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you. All right. Next, may we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, now we get to move on to the DHS student report with Mackenzie and Olivia.
Hi everyone, I hope you all had a happy holidays. So in student council right now, we've decided on the snow coming theme made in Detroit. We're selling long sleeve spirit shirts and dance tickets for the rest of the week. Spirit week is January 30th through February 3rd. Monday's a band/concert t-shirt day, so like anyone who's been to like a concert or anything can wear that shirt to represent. Because like most of the concert places are around Detroit. Tuesday is class color day. Freshmen are light gray, sophomores are white, juniors are dark gray, seniors are red, and the staff is black. Wednesday is career day. Thursday is Detroit Sports Day, and Friday is blue and white day. We also have the pep assembly that Friday, and the snow coming game, like basketball game, starts at 7 p.m. The court performance is at halftime, where we'll crown the 2017 snow coming king and queen. And we have the Powerpuff game on February 2nd at 7, where students like create teams of 6 and they play volleyball, like a bracket games of volleyball. And then we're also closing out loose ends with charity week. We have the exploration night coming up, and student council will have a table explaining what we do for anyone interested. And then this spring, they're showcasing an original musical called Obsessed. There's no like date for that yet, but when there is, we'll get back to you.
Link Crew has many activities they're preparing this month. On February 1st, BHS is having a challenge day. This day is full of activities and challenges that 100 of our students will be put through to better learn the meaning of empathy and to learn how to promote within our school and community. We are also preparing for the Education Exploration Night and getting ready to run the 8th grade orientation in early February. Lastly, Link Crew is getting excited for our annual Cookies, Cocoa, and Cram after school on January 23rd. During this time, students will come to the library and cram for finals while enjoying some cookies and hot chocolate, mostly freshmen.
Who's making them?
Sometimes we just buy them, but kids in the class make them too. The varsity boys and girls basketball team are playing tomorrow at Goodrich High School, with the boys record 3-5 and the girls 3-6. Girls game is at 5:30 and with the boys following at 7, so come out to support them. Last but not least, we'd like to take a second to thank all of you on behalf of BHS. We appreciate all the hard work you guys do, and our school wouldn't be successful without your guys' dedication. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
All right, thanks, girls. Next, we have the superintendent's report.
Right. Well, welcome everybody. I think we were all here for the first meeting, so it's great. Welcome back. So I want to begin. This is our annual organizational meeting with the Board of Education. It's going to go through and do organize for the year, pick officers, and a variety of other things. Want to just briefly talk about Board of Education. This is Board of Education Appreciation Month, and I just want to talk a little bit about our Board of Education. We have a great Board of Education, and I think anybody who's worked in schools understands that some of the things that you hope for from your Board of Education is that they're strong, that they're able to make decisions that are in the best interest of kids, that they're thoughtful in the homework that they do, that they help advise the people that are here to do the daily work, and that they're fun to work with. And our board is check, 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 check. This is a great board. It's a blessing to work with all of you, and I just want to thank you so much on behalf of the administrators for everything that you do for us, and on behalf of the entire district. Thank you so much for all of your service. Really appreciate it. So I'm going to ask Maria, and I'm going to ask the administrators to come up here and help us. Can you guys all come up here and just help? We got some things from the varying buildings, some little presents and such, and they're going to give them to you. So. Get that down here. Get that wherever that one is. Lisa. Just go shake some hands. Kevin's not here. And Diane is in here. Thank you. Okay, somebody bow. Okay, Kevin's not here yet. Big old one, yes, right? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm down here all by myself. Good. Good. Hey.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm trying my best.
Okay, thank you all, and again, thanks to the Board of Education. Thank you to Maria. Maria put all of this together. Maria Schubring, she's always the person behind everything. Maria, thank you so much. So the second thing here for today is January of every year. I'm required to give just an overview of kind of our targets for the year and review our district goals. This is stuff that we work on during the summertime. Includes people from the Board of Education, Brandon 2025 team, our administration. But I'm going to review what some of the things are that we're working on briefly, and then answer any questions. Our goals are fairly simple. They're related to student achievement. The first is our goal of continuing to improve on our student achievement with the M-STEP. Specifically, we focus a lot on the NWEA scores, which our students take in the fall and the winter, and some of them take it in the spring as well. I think everybody's going to end up taking it in the spring as we move forward. But continue to move forward in our scores in those two areas. Those are the ways that we judge our progress year to year. Those are two measurable growth goals that we have. Our general areas, we talked about this during the work session. These have been our pillars for the district for the last 2.5 years, focusing on quality in everything that we do. If we're going to do something in Brandon, it needs to be quality. There's a whole bunch of different things within that, dealing with programming or instruction, dealing with communication and whatnot. Everything that we do as a system must be quality. That was our number one area of focus. Service to family was our next big one. We've worked on, for the last few years, really working on our communication with families, getting good information to them in a timely way in manners that's most efficient to them. We continue to have work to do in all these areas, but we're making some progress. And then the third is this idea that we need to be not planning for tomorrow, but planning for 10 years from now. We have to plan for tomorrow, but we have to be looking down the road. Where do our students need to be? Where do we need to be as a district to be healthy and to be in the best position to be successful in the future? So those are our three pillars, and then our work session, we agreed that we're going to continue to focus on those 3 areas as our overarching pillars. Specifically this year, we're carrying a lot of our targets that we worked on last year. We're carrying those forward. I just shared some of them here. We have many others that we're working on too, but the idea of identifying and elevating expectations, the goal setting process for our own staff members, and we're also doing this for our students and families as well. It's something we're experimenting with. The protection of instructional time. If we are losing valuable instructional time, we have issues. We're really trying to protect that, make sure that every minute counts when we're instructing our kids. We've been talking a lot about everybody reaching their personal best. This is this idea of coaching with our teachers and helping each and every one of our employees, including ourselves, of getting better every day. What do we have to do to get better? And if each of us strives to get better every day, we're all going to end up getting better. The accountability for results. A big focus for this year, as we talked about in the work session, is the role of parents. Really trying to emphasize that role, and also to improve the quality of our education, not the quantity, but making sure that we're communicating in the most effective manners possible. We're still working on Brandon 2025. On February 8th, the group is going to reconvene. We're going to be talking about doing some refreshing of that vision. It's helped guide us here for the last couple of years, but we need to continue to stay modern and make sure that we stay ahead and that we're preparing the students the best we can for the future. We've done a lot of work on our infrastructure needs, looking 5 years into the future and trying to plan for those days that are ahead. And obviously, as we were doing in our work session, continuing to look at our resources and making sure that our resources that we have as a district are used in the best way possible. Ultimately, each one of us needs to give our best every day, and if we do that, good things are going to happen. So our mission remains the same. As a school system, we're committed to delivering the highest quality education to each and every one of our students so that every one of them can be successful in our system, so that every student can soar. So that's our mission statement. Is there any questions or comments from the board? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Maria, I'll take a look.
Next, we have public comments and questions on agenda business. Oh, none?
No.
None? Okay. Very good. The next agenda item is approval of our consent agenda. May I have a motion?
I move the Brandon Board of Education approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second?
All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any against? Thank you, the motion passes. Excuse me, I'm having trouble with my voice tonight. The next agenda item is information and discussion items, and those begin with the finance report with Jan.
I have nothing tonight.
Thank you. And the next information and discussion item is the education report.
So I'd just like to do a quick recap for anybody who wasn't here. I know most everybody was, but a quick recap of our special workshop earlier. The request was made for the board to consider reconvening the Sex Education Advisory Board for our school district so that they could talk about whether or not they would like to make any suggestions going forward that would of course come to the board. And you kindly approved to have that council come back together to reconvene. Really what this comes down to is whether we would ultimately be an abstinence-only district or an abstinence-based district. Abstinence only means that there's never any conversation in any way, shape, or form around any type of contraceptive. Abstinence is the only way to go. Abstinence-based still promotes abstinence as the best way for our students to carry out a relationship at this point. But it would include a conversation around contraceptives as a way to decrease the possibility of pregnancy and passing of STDs and STIs. So that's really what that comes down to, is reconvening that board so we can have that conversation and decide if we need to make any changes. So we will do that. The other thing I would like to add is that we've really been looking at how we can increase the number of electives that are offered to our high school students. Dan Stevens has led that charge. He's done a really nice job with that. And he has A couple of different teachers who are submitting proposals, sports statistics, for example, so teaching statistics through sports. I read that proposal, very, very exciting. And the one for anatomy and physiology is going to be forthcoming. I will be bringing those to you next month so that you can consider how we should move forward, but I think you'll be excited too. So that's on the horizon.
Very good. Any questions on that? Okay, thank you. So now we move into the action items portion of our agenda, and since this is our annual organizational meeting, we begin with the appointment of a temporary chairperson. And so may I have a motion for the appointment of a temporary chairperson for election of the president?
Move that Maria Schubring serve as temporary chairperson for the selection of a president.
Support.
All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. And the motion carries.
Okay, we'll move on to the next agenda item, which is the election of a president. I will accept nominations at this time. Are there any nominations for president?
I nominate Kevin.
Second.
All righty. Are there any other nominations? There being no other nominations, the nominations are declared, the nomination is declared closed. It has been moved and supported to elect Kevin McClellan as president. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. Therefore, Kevin McClellan is declared elected president of the Board of Education. Kevin, congratulations. Alrighty, since Kevin is not here, we will move on to the next agenda item, which is the election of vice president. Do we have a motion to elect a vice president for the 2017 calendar year?
I move to elect Lisa Cavalluna as vice president for the 2017 calendar year. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You did.
I'll say second because I didn't have to pronounce it.
It's been 5 years.
Okay, there being no other nominations, the nomination is declared closed. It has been moved and supported to elect Lisa Cavalluna as vice president. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. Okay, it has been declared that Lisa is now our vice president and she gets to take over the board meeting now. Back to Lisa.
Thank you. Our next action item is continuing on with elections, and it is the election of our board secretary. Do I have nominations to fill the position of secretary?
I move to elect Diane Salter as secretary for the 2017 calendar year.
Second.
Are there any other nominations for the position of secretary? Having heard none, all those in favor of the motion on the table, please say yes.
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 Any opposed? All right. The motion carries. Congratulations. Next is the election of treasurer. Do I have any nominations in the form of a motion to fill the position of treasurer?
Move to elect Debbie Brady as treasurer for the 2017 calendar year.
Support. All those in favor of Debbie Brady being appointed as treasurer for the 2017 school year, please indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, say no. The motion carries. Congratulations, Debbie. Our next item is, may I have a motion regarding the resolution to set the date, time, and place for regular monthly meetings?
I move that the Brandon Board of Education adopt a resolution stating that the regular monthly meeting of the Brandon Board of Education in Brandon School District shall be held on the third Monday of each month, beginning at 6:30 p.m. for the 2017 calendar year, as presented.
Support. All those in favor of this motion, please say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, please say no.
No.
Do you have any proposal?
No, I do not.
All right, and the motion passes. Thank you. Next is a request for approval of depositories for school funds. May I have a motion?
I move to name J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, Oxford Bank, Clarkson State Bank, the Bank of New York, U.S. Bank, Michigan School District Liquid Asset Fund Plus, and Fifth Third Bank as depositories for Brandon School District and Michigan School District Liquid Asset Fund Plus as authorized investment brokers. That's a mouthful, isn't it?
Second. You have a second? Did I hear?
Yep, second.
Okay. All those in favor for the motion regarding the approval of depositories for school funds, please indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. And the motion carries. Thank you. Next item is designation of a person to serve as our contracting agent. May I have a motion?
Move that the Brandon Board of Education designate the superintendent of schools to serve as contracting agent to sign agreements and contracts for the Brandon School District.
Support.
All those in favor of this motion, please say yes.
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 Any opposed? Say no. All right, it passes. Our next item is, excuse me, the designation of persons authorized to sign checks.
Move that the Brandon Board of Education designate the superintendent of schools or the Board of Education president as the authorized persons to sign checks for the Brandon School District.
Support?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries. Our next item is the designation of a person authorized to sign purchase orders.
Move the Brandon Board of Education designate the Executive Director of Business Services as the authorized person to sign purchase orders for the Brandon School District.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we need to designate a person to serve as electronic transfer officer.
Move.
Move that the Brandon Board of Education designate the Executive Director of Business Services as the authorized electronic transfer officer for the Brandon School District.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Our next agenda item is L, and it is to establish fees charged for individuals requesting notice of board meetings. Do I have a motion?
Move that the Brandon Board of Education establish a fee of $1 per notice via post mail for individuals requesting notice of board meetings.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Our next item is to establish board compensation.
I move the Brandon Board of Education establish $0 per members as compensation for the 2017 calendar year.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? All right, the motion carries, thank you. Our next item is to designate person to post vacancies, accept resignation.
Move that the Brandon Board of Education approve the superintendent of schools or his or her designee to post vacancies and accept resignations.
Support.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Thank you. I apologize, everyone. I know I'm not pausing for discussion and asking for discussion, but I just trust that you would speak up at this point since we're trying to take through these items, okay? Our next item is to designate person to post public notices.
Move that the Brandon Board of Education approve the superintendent of schools or his or her designee to post public notices.
Support.
All those in favor, please say yes.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. Delegation of reporting secretary duties by the secretary of the board.
Okay, and if I got this right, I, Diane Salter, as secretary of the board, delegate Diane Salter.
No,
No,
Maria.
Oh, Maria. Maria Schubring to serve as recording secretary for the Brandon Board of Education. There you go, Maria.
Second?
Very good. All of those in support, please say yes.
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 Any opposed? Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, okay. What do you have against Maria, really? Our next item is the assignment of Board Education, assignment of Board of Education representative to the MASB. May I have a motion?
Does anybody want it?
Anybody?
Anybody want it?
I'm thinking Bob.
Yeah.
So I move that the Brandon Board of Education appoint Bob Eisenbinger as its representative to the Michigan Association of School Boards.
Support.
Do I need to ask? Yeah. Everybody in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Okay. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Our next item, may I have a motion regarding the assignment of Board of Education representative to the Oakland County Intermediate School District?
I think Kevin wants this.
I
I
think
do too. I think Kevin
He
does.
told me he did.
Yeah.
I move the Brandon Board of Education appoint Kevin McMillan as its representative to the Oakland County Intermediate School District.
Second?
All those in favor of our motion?
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Thank you.
I do like that every time this has come up, two people have not been. We've been able to get through that real quickly.
I know which meeting I'm attending.
I know, we're learning.
Our next action item, excuse me, is the appointment of designated spokesperson for the Board of Education. May I have a motion?
Move that the Brandon Board of Education president/designee be appointed the designated spokesperson for the Board of Education.
Support.
All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Okay. And our next agenda item is the approval of authorized purchased card users. Do I have a motion?
Well, we'd like to make an adjustment to the
Okay.
document.
There you go.
The,
To the mo-
yeah, we have the, well, the motion will stand, but we're gonna adjust the document. The accounts payable person, that will be now 5,000. Was listed way higher, so there's no need, in the old days, that's what was needed to pay some things, but those are no longer paid that way, so 5,000 was a reasonable amount.
So as the card amount for the accounts payable person who's a designated user, what we're saying is that amount will be
In the-
capped at $5,000.
Capped
Is
at
that what we're
5,000,
saying?
yes.
Okay. Would you like to put that into a motion?
I don't know if I need to, I think the document can be changed, and then we can, I don't know, maybe if I then move that the Brandon Board of Education approve the employee, or the, yeah, position titles authorized to use credit cards in conducting business as presented. So if it's changed to 5,000, do I need to make a motion to change it to 5,000? We're gonna just do it as presented.
I believe you can do it as presented, and
As
I will
we're
put the
presented.
note with the adjustment.
Okay, very good.
With the document adjusted to reflect the accounts payable person limit $5,000.
Very good.
I'll revise the document and
Perfect.
send it.
I just want to make sure you have what you need before
Yes.
this group leaves
Yes,
tonight, so
absolutely.
that, because I know it's important for,
Yes.
okay. So you would have what you need then
I
if we
do.
act on this motion?
Yes,
as-
okay.
So Diane made the motion, do we have support?
I'll make the motion
You'll make
now.
it, all
Move that
right.
the Brandon Board of Education approve the employee position titles authorized to use district credit, debit, purchase cards in conducting of district business as presented.
Support.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? All right, that motion passes. Our next agenda item, we're moving on from action items to citizens' input. Okay, thank you. time, I would like to adjourn our regular school board meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the gifts.
Thank you very much for the gift.